Guys, it's Karen and I am here to talk about this at last, this skinny tan. Look how much I've used of it. I've used a lot of this. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've done it. I've used it on my legs and feet. I've used it on my arms. I've used it on my face. I used it on my arms again. And I just kept forgetting to write down what my thoughts were. And so every time I was like, okay, I'm ready to review this, I'd pick it up and go, I can't remember what it smelled like or if it had a tan smell. So I used it again last night, and as soon as I used it I was like, okay, yes, I remember, and I remember what it looked like, and it certainly hasn't gone patchy because I haven't noticed that. So I'm ready to tell you about it. I bought mine from Superdrug. There are 6 products in this skinny tan range. Instant tan, fake tan, build up like natural tan, and then prep and maintain. So let's have a look at the fake tan, because there's actually 2 in the range and I don't know what the difference is. There's this one, which is the 7-day tanner in this orange stripy tube, and then there's one in a red stripy tube, which is a 7-day tanner. Now that's interesting. It says dark and ab shader, but on the box in Superdrug it just says ab shader. And I asked the lady, well, what's the difference between these two? Because I looked, the ingredients seem to be the same, the tube seems to be the same, they both seem to have the same claims, and even she didn't know. She said, I've absolutely no idea. So I don't know what the difference is even now, but with it saying dark, it makes me think that it's maybe a shade darker. Defines abs. Yes, it says here a darker tone than the 7-day tanner. So I would say that this one is obviously considered medium, and if you want this one but darker, go for the 7-day darker ab definer one. But they are both £19.99, and you get 125ml. That's actually not too bad for it's not an inexpensive self tanner, but it's not an expensive one. It's probably middle of the line, isn't it? Self tanners are very, very expensive, I feel, and often the very inexpensive ones are not great. And I say that thinking about the St. Moritz. When I've used St. Moritz in the past, I've put it on and it develops lovely and it's great, but it fades patchy. However, I have used recently the Saint Tropez pre-shower one, you know, the one where you put it on for 1, 2 or 3 hours, and that one didn't fade patchy, so maybe they're improving things. But £19.99 for this. I'll tell you what the claims are and then I'll tell you what I think. I haven't read the claims, by the way. Obviously it claims to stay on for 7 days. Skinny tan 7-day tanner gives a gorgeous natural tan. I don't know whether it gives a gorgeous natural tan. This, I've got it on my arms. I've got a bit of a birthmark here, so if it looks like it's streaky, it's not. And also I struggled to get it right under there, you know, because then once you put your arms down it sort of takes a bit off. But I don't know if you think that that looks natural or not, but I put that on my arms last night. Has a heavenly tropical scent. I don't like the scent at all. That is my one very big minus. But I have to say it is very much like a lot of self tanners out there. I have smelt that smell many times over on. It's not just a cheap tanner, self tanner smell, because there is, what's the one I've got? Zentan. I've got a Zentan kind of gel type thing that smells exactly the same as this, and I literally can't use it because I don't like the smell. It is like a very fake coconut smell. It says tropical. I don't know why I keep smelling it. Let's not keep smelling it if I don't like it. But I don't like it. But I don't think that everybody will have the same weird sense of smell that I've got. Helps disguise the visible signs of cellulite. Yeah, probably will, but most self tanners will do this. That's not something that's unique to this product. That's pretty much all it says. Underneath features, it says it is a salon quality self tanner that instantly bronzes the skin, then develops into a deep, gorgeous, natural looking tan that lasts for up to 7 days. Up to 7 days. So yes, it has got a guide colour on it, which I didn't used to like, but I actually do like now. I used to be really anti-guide colours because it got all over the sheets, you know. This one hasn't so much, I have to say, because I remember looking at the sheets this morning because Watson had like gone a bit mad on them, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to need to change the sheets, and I only changed them yesterday. But actually I couldn't see anything on them, and he hadn't got on them, he'd just got on the sheet, the, what do you call it, eider down type thing that I've got on the top for him. But I don't think this has actually come off from the sheets, which is really good. Product specification, let's have a look at the ingredients. It's got water as the first ingredient. It's got sweet almond oil as the second ingredient, which I think is really good because if you've got oil in a self tanner, it always appeals to me because it's a moisturising ingredient and it's less likely to go patchy. However, the third ingredient is dihydroxyacetone, and to get a deep colour, if you're looking for something with a deep colour, that would be better to be the second ingredient. It's then got sunflower seed oil, caramel, a lot of them have got caramel in it, glycerin, which is another moisturising, I don't know why it's got guarana in it, and it also has some perfume in it. The perfume is at the very end of the list, so it's not something I would be concerned about. So I think that this would be okay for sensitive skin, but as I always say, if it's got perfume in it at all, then just use with caution. Maybe do a patch test first. But there's nothing in there that would concern me. There's no alcohol, and perfume isn't high on the list, so I'd be quite happy with that. It doesn't say that it's not for the face, but it says use the instant bronzer as a colour guide. Apply the cream to any part of the body you wish to tan. Do not overwork. Please note the bronzer is a guide only. Leave for a minimum of 5 hours, or preferably overnight. Shower with water only to remove the bronzer. That's interesting. A natural lasting tan will have developed underneath. Okay, I suppose you should probably shower off with water only with most self-tanners, because soap will take more of it off. But to be honest, most of us are not going to shower with water only, are we? We're going to want to wash, or I certainly am, and I like to wash it off. So let me start with legs and feet. I've been so lucky. I've been testing so many tans. I think I've tested about 5 tans over the last couple of months, and none of them have gone extremely patchy on my feet, which is very, very unusual and makes me think that tan technology is definitely moving along and getting much better. And this was one of them. I put it on my legs and feet, and it was very easy to apply, and yeah, it didn't come out patchy at all, and it didn't fade patchy. I find the best way to use this is with a tanning glove. I use my Ultimate. You guys know I love my Ultimate. It's a luxury tanning glove. I did try it with my latex gloves. So sometimes I think I prefer to apply creams, and this is a cross between a cream and a gel. Let me show you it just a little bit there. It's a cross between a cream and a gel. It's not creamy, it's a gel with oil in it, and it feels very lightweight going on. But I tend to use my mitt with either a mousse or a liquid, and then with cream or gel like this, I would tend to use my latex gloves or vinyl gloves, whatever. And I did use that on my face and neck, and like I said, it doesn't say you can use it for the face, but I always want to try them on my face, especially since the ingredients are okay. I used that, and on my neck I found it very, very hard to rub in with the latex gloves. So that's not a way I would recommend. I definitely recommend using the mitt. The only thing is, because it's this sort of cream gel and you're using the mitt did absorb a lot of it. So like I said, you can see I've gone through it, and I've used it twice on my arms, once on my legs and feet, and once on my face and neck, and that's me gone through probably half a bottle or half a tube. So yes, the mitt is the best way to use it, but it does absorb a lot of the product, unfortunately. Yeah, I was saying I put it on my neck with the gloves, and it's a very hard cream to rub in if you're not using a mitt. But despite the fact that it actually looked quite patchy when I rubbed it in, when I washed it off, there was no patchiness at all, which was really, really good. The colour that it develops into is a really nice, well, you can see the colour. It's a nice caramel colour, but it's not that sort of brown green colour. It's not that sort of olivey colour. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not an olivey colour. If you see how it's like that on my elbows, I'm not very good at putting moisturiser on my elbows. In fact, I'm terrible, and it's something I need to start doing. I'm good at, like, I put gradual tan on my hands, because otherwise if I put tanner on my hands, it always looks terrible. But I've never had dry elbows, and I think the last few times I've tanned, I've noticed that it looks patchy, so I need to put moisturiser on there. So that's not the tan's fault, that's my fault. But it developed lovely. It didn't have any scent when it developed. There is none of that tanner scent that I could smell, because I love that, and I couldn't smell it even when it was on my face and neck. So I think that most people will enjoy that if you can get over the fake coconut smell. The only bit of the claims that I don't agree with very much at all is that it's a 7-day tanner. I don't think there is a 7-day tanner, honestly, and that's a big statement to make, because there's a lot of them out there that claim it and not many that I've tried. So actually, who do I think I am? But when I say that, a lot of the 7-day ones that I have read the instructions, and in order to get a 7-day tan, you apply it 3 days in a row. So you're really building up the DHA in your skin. It's not just a one application and then it lasts 7 days. And I didn't particularly notice that like I didn't wait 7 days to see was there any colour at all, because after 3 to 4 days I was like, oh okay, the tan's come off my arms, I can put it on again, or okay, I have no tan on my legs and feet, I can try my next one. So at no point was I like, oh okay, I've still got tan left. That did happen with one of them. Which one was it? No, it wasn't the Saint Tropez one, or maybe it was. Was it the Madame Glam? No, it was the baby powder smelling one, the fake tan mousse. I think that one was the one where I put it on and was noticing that there was no patchiness on my feet. But this didn't last that long. It didn't last 7 days on me, and I think that that's a bold claim, and it does on here say up to 7 days. I think that's everything you'd want to know about this, isn't it? I'm trying to think what else. How long it lasts. It doesn't go patchy. It's really easy to apply with a mitt, but it soaks a lot up. I don't like the scent. It has no developing scent. It lasts probably 3 to 4 days. It's an okay price. I think that's pretty much all you'd want to know, isn't it? Yeah. Skin types, I think it would be okay for most skin types. Like I said, it's got perfume in it. Yeah, I think that's everything. So I hope that was enjoyable to you. Please let me know how you've got on, if you've tried this, or if you've tried any of the other products in the range. I wouldn't repurchase this just simply because of that scent. I can't abide that scent. And actually, I now prefer a mousse or a liquid, which is really bizarre to me because I used to prefer a colourless cream. That would have been my choice for a self tanner, whereas now I like a tinted lotion or a liquid, not a lotion, a liquid. So that's everything. I will list everything that I've got on my face, the jewellery and t-shirt and everything in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you soon.